The following is a special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. Last night, the Atlanta Braves went to 3-4 on the year on Tuesday, April 13th, 1982, with an 8-5 win over the Cincinnati Reds. The Braves loaded the bases in the first and couldn't score. The Reds, however, drew first blood in the first. Dave Concepcion singled home Ron Oster to make it 1-0 Reds. In the third, the Braves batted around, including a 3-run single by Chris Chambliss to make it 3-1. The Reds made it 3-2 in the bottom of the inning on a Dan Dreesen RBI single. And then Bob Horner went to work. He's off to an incredible start. He hit a 3-run bomb in the fourth to make it 6-2. He's got 4 home runs the first week of the season and 10 RBI. The Reds tried to make some headway in the sixth. They sent 7 to the plate but could only score 1. A fielder's choice by Clint Hurdle. In the seventh, the Braves added onto it to make it 7-3 on a Brett Butler grounder. And Clint Hurdle was the Reds' hero in the seventh. He made it 7-5 as he singled to score 2. But Bruce Benedict did his job. The Braves taking advantage of bad Cincinnati pitching to make it 8-5. The Braves are not going to start 13-0, but they can make it to 500 tonight on MLB Replay 82, lunchtime edition. It's the Braves and the Reds from Cincinnati. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1982, Week 2 action between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds. Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett. Nice to have you with us, and I promise to put it on the game when the time comes. As you can see, I got my hair cut. I don't have anything on my face, and I think we got an interesting one for you today. The Reds are going to go nowhere in real life in 1982, and they really shouldn't go too far in the replay. But it being the first week of the season, they are 4-3, a half game behind the Dodgers. A game behind them is the Atlanta Braves. And remember, it was going to be almost impossible for the Braves to start out 13-0. The good news is they're going to hang in there all year, and you'll probably see plenty of them in this replay. Because, as we said last time with the St. Louis Cardinals, no one in the National League won more than 92 games. It is so wide open, and you just don't know what you're going to see between the Dodgers, the Giants, and even the up-and-coming Padres. So enjoy. In a moment, it'll be Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds from Riverfront, right here on Retro Sports Network. All sorts of crashing around. I will be managing the Reds, as they are the home team. It'll be Tommy Boggs for the Braves and Frank Pastore for the Reds. On a 59-degree afternoon here at Riverfront Stadium. There you go. And there I go. How you doing, Max and Tribe and Sports Time Machine? How are we doing? Good to have you along for the Braves and the Reds. I had some chili for lunch. My wife's going to work, so guess what? She had some chili for lunch too, so we can be around each other. So there's no wind, 59 degrees, a clear, calm afternoon at Riverfront Stadium. Turf is in good shape. They've not had the bad weather that most of the East Coast had last week. And so it'll be Frank Pastore on the mound for the Reds. His first start of the year came 4 days ago against the San Francisco Giants. He went 6 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1 and got no decision. And this will be the lineup that he will face. You can see Brett Butler at the plate. He'll lead off and play left. Glenn Hubbard, who was a 4-hit night last night, will bat second and play second. Dale Murphy, the eventual MVP, is in right. He'll bat third. Bob Horner, what a start he's off to. 4 home runs and 10 RBI. He'll clean up. Chris Chambliss is at first. He'll bat fifth. Rafael Linares is the left fielder. He'll bat sixth. Bruce Benedict behind the plate. He'll bat seventh. Rafael Ramirez is the shortstop, and right now he's the best shortstop in baseball. He'll bat 8th, and Tommy Boggs, good for 95 pitches, is on the mound and will bat 9th. Defensively around Pastore, in the outfield, Clint Hurdle, who you heard in the tease, had a big night last night. Boy, he can't play left at all. He's a 2 and a 4. Cesar Cedeno, left over from the Big Red Machine days, 6 in center with a 4-arm. And Eddie Milner, 4 and 4 in right. At third, the strange side of Johnny Bench, playing someplace else behind the catcher. He's a 3. Ron Oster, a 3 at short. Rafael Landestoy, a 3 at second. And Dan Dreesen, the other remnant of the Big Red Machine, is at first. He's a 6. And O'Berry, I believe it's Mike O'Berry, is behind the plate. He's a 3 and a 5. We're going to play for the bunt because Brett Butler does have speed. Not a great start to the year. 148 with an RBI and 3 stolen bases. And this one's underway. Butler draws a walk. And that's how this one starts. So here's Glenn Hubbard. Love the hat and shirt combo there. Braves are actually in those blue hats with the A, first year of that. And just as you see in Hubbard's picture, actually it's a capital A in the uniform. So the baby blue pullovers with Atlanta in script. And so Hubbard at 360 with no homers and 4 RBI. Throw to first, Butler back. And so now we'll face Hubbard, who with 9 homers on the real year. Pastore delivers, and there's a little chopper. O'Berry, the catcher, throws to first, and Landestoy covers and makes the play. So it goes down 1-4 on the card. And that'll bring up Dale Murphy. 259, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. And why did Atlanta make the playoffs in 1982? Well, you're looking at one of the reasons right here. The next 3 batters, as a matter of fact, Horner and Chambliss, along with Phil Negro on the mound. So Murph at 259, 2 homers and 4 RBI. Pastore delivers, and there's a ground ball to Oster. Over to Dreesen, Butler will hold, and Murph is out. So that brings up Bob Horner. Bob, as I said, what a magnificent start. 379, 4 home runs, 10 RBI. He had 8 runs in the first 7 games, with an OPS at 1283. So there's 2 out. Pastore is ready. He delivers. And there's a base hit left side. Butler will score easily. Horner will hold it first on the single. And it's already 1-0 Atlanta. So not a bad way to start. Here's Chris Chambliss. I'm sure, going from New York to Atlanta was not the easiest decision in the world. But he got out of the Bronx Zoo, so I'm sure that he sleeps better at night. 286 on the young year with 6 RBI. And 1-0 Braves here in the first, top of the first. Pastore delivers. Chambliss hits a liner to Oster, and that retires the side. But the red-hot Bob Horner makes noise. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors. After half an inning, Atlanta won. Cincinnati coming up. Let's see. We'll do that, and then I'll do plug the channels in a moment. So it's Tommy Boggs, who also pitched for the Rangers, on the hill. And his first start of the year came 4 days ago against the Houston Astros. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 5 and struck out 2. Joe Cowley, by the way, pitched for Atlanta last night. Boggs did not start that many games in real life. 2-2 on the year, 46 1/3 innings, 43 hits, 2 home runs, 22 walks, and 29 strikeouts. So hopefully the Braves can get a little more from him. Defensively around Boggs, it'll be Linares and lefties of 4 and 3. Butler in center of 6 and 4. Murphy's only a 2 and right? That doesn't make, wow. 2 and 4 around the infield. Horner is a 3 at third. Ramirez is a 9 at short. Hubbard an 8 at second. Chambliss a 7 at first. That makes for a very dangerous double play combination. And Bruce Benedict held his own behind the plate. He's an 8 range with a 4-arm. And the lineup for the Reds is that Eddie Milner leads off. Rafael Landeskog will bat second. Danny Dreesen will bat third. Johnny Bench at third will clean up. Then it's Cesar Cedeno in center. Ron Oster will bat sixth. Clint Hurdle will bat seventh. I believe it's Mike O'Berry will bat eighth. And the pitcher, Pastore, will bat ninth. He threw 16 pitches in the first. How you doing, Mr. Jake Cruz? And so Boggs will be good for about 95 pitches. Milner is 0 for 2 on the year. In real life, 268, 4 homers, and 31 RBI. Landeskog to follow, and that's a liner in the right center field, and Milner rips a single to start. So that's what the Reds wanted. Landeskog, 1 for 1 with 2 RBI on the year. Okay, don't get too excited. He went 189 in the real 82 season with a homer and 9 RBI. Milner will go and try to steal. Throw from Benedict is in time, not in time, so Milner has second stolen, and that's his first of the year. And now they're going to play for the bunt, and we're going to give it to him. Landeskog tries to lay one down. Boggs, his only throw was to Hubbard covering first, and that works for the Reds. Sacrifices down, and so the Reds have Milner on third with 1 out for Dan Dreesen. 250 on the young year with 4 RBI. And a 17 home run hitter in real life. Boggs delivers, and there's a ground ball right back to Tommy. Milner will hold at third, and the throw is to first to retire Dreesen. So 2 out for Johnny Bench, who looks so young in that picture. Can you adjust or edit ratings? Yeah, you can. I've never done it for baseball, but you can. What ratings, Mr. Utah, were you thinking of? Bench is at 375 with 2 RBI. Hit 13 home runs. Next to last year, the penultimate year of Bench's Hall of Fame career, and he did play quite a bit of third. That's not what I meant to hit. Boggs' pitch, Bench. It's a ground ball to third. Oh, short. Ramirez over to Chambliss, and that retires the side. So the good base running for the Reds is all for naught. No runs, a hit, no errors. It's Atlanta 1, Cincinnati nothing. After one, I'm surprised that Murphy was rated that low. I'll look into it. But a 2 range doesn't seem like that's an awful good number. So Rufino Linares will lead off for the Braves. He's yet to take an at-bat this year. 298 on the real season, 2 homers and 17 RBI. Pastore's ready. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to third. Bench over to Dreesen. 1 out. Bench, of course, is going to be shaky at third. I mean, when most catchers leave behind the plate to go field, you usually stick them at first. But Dreesen's a pretty good first baseman. He's an average first baseman. And so I guess they figured that Bench was better at third. Bruce Benedict's off to a flying start. 321, 2 homers, and 7 RBI. But I will inquire on what Murph should be. Pastore pitches, and there's another ground ball to Bench. Over to Dreesen. That's the second out. Well, no, it gets away from Dreesen. The throw was high, and Benedict goes to second. So it's an E5. And that's why it really shouldn't be putting 38-year-old washed-up catchers at third base. But the Reds are one of the rare teams in the National League in 1982 that really have no shot at the playoffs. They were finished either 5th or 6th in the division. That brings up Rafael Ramirez, 429. What a start, 12 for 18, including 2 home runs and 7 RBI. So they might not have that 7-0 record, But they're off to a flying start. Pastore's pitch, and there's a little looper in the right center. Benedict will hold at third. Ramirez is on with a single, and here is Tommy Boggs. So not what Frank Pastore wanted in the second start. The Braves have got 2 on and 1 out. And they're going to pitch to Boggs. Ground ball to Landistore. They're going to try for 2. Oh, he threw home. I hit the wrong button. Oh. The runner is safe at home. Ramirez goes to second and Boggs is on first. I meant to try for 2. Oh, Landistore got his signs mixed up and threw home. And so there's still 1 out. 2-0 Atlanta. And so Pastore, 27 pitches to the first 9 batters, but he's only retired 4. 2 hits and a walk. Including Brett Butler, who walked his first time up and scored. Pastore's pitch. Fly ball to right. Back goes Milner. Makes the catch for the out. Ramirez will hold at second. How you doing, Dave? So Atlanta jumps on the Reds for 2. Here's Glenn Hubbard. He sack bunted. His first time up. Pastore delivers, and there's a ground ball up the middle. Landistore over to Dreesen, and it doesn't hurt Cincinnati any more than that. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 bad error by Johnny Bench after an inning and a half. It's Atlanta 2, Cincinnati nothing. The Rugs are an acquired taste. The one here in Cincinnati was not as bad as the ones in both Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Philadelphia's was the absolute worst. I mean, it really was green-covered concrete. The Mets in Oakland, of course, played on grass, and if the Rangers hadn't moved to Texas from Washington, RFK was, of course, a grass field, too. Cesar Cedeno is at 286, no homers and 4 RBI. Oster and Hurdle to follow. Feeling better, Dave. Pitch from Boggs. Cedeno looks at strike, swung on him, missed strike 3. So Boggs is hitting 95 on the old radar gun. And that brings up Ron Oster. 387 and 5 RBI on the young year. Only hit 9 homers in real life. Pitch from Tommy. Popped up. Benedict in foul ground, takes off the mask, and it finds the seats. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Oster. Chopper up the middle. Ramirez has it over to Chambliss, and they got him on a bang-bang play. I will say this, that artificial surface does move the ball pretty fast, and Braves, of course, did not play on... Oh, that's another stadium that was a grass field for a multi-purpose, was Atlanta. In fact, most of the fields in the National League West were grass. Cincinnati and Houston, I think, are the only 2 by 82 that are on the turf. The Western Division, that is. Here's Hurdle. Win at 308 with 5 RBI. Boggs delivers, and Hurdle, smart ground ball to Chambliss. Takes to the bag himself, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, it's Atlanta 2, Cincinnati nothing. All right, now I meant to do this. Tribe Fan, by the way, on his channel, just released another video on his 2016, if I got it wrong, let me know, Minnesota Twins replay, the year that Paul Molitor shook the world and made the Twins respectable. So Tribe Fan is redoing that, and I believe in Strat. Sports Time Machine is doing some bowling, the bowling tour, and I gotta go watch that video. I don't know if Max is doing anything or not right now on YouTube, but Jake's just a good friend. And Dave, of course, hope you feel better, buddy, and about to start another season of the Eastern Massachusetts Roller Hockey League. Got some good stuff going on with that. Here's Murphy. Murph 0 for 1. Grounded out to short his first time up. Pastore's ready, and that's a fly ball to center. Back goes Cedeno. and for the out. Bob Horner, RBI single. Now it's 11 on the year. That came in the first. Pastore delivers, and Horner lines one right to Oster for the out. So Pastore has settled in after 2 bad innings. Here's Chambliss. Chris is 0 for 1. And that's a base hit left center, opposite field. Chambliss will hold at first. Hurdle throws it back in, and there's 2 outs. And 1 on for Linares. One of those role players the Braves had in the 80s. They had a lot of decent role players. But this was the year they put it all together, 1982. Pastore delivers, and there's a base hit up the middle. He's going for 2, and Linares has got it. So that skipped all the way to the wall, and Linares beat the throw by Cedeno. And so the Braves have 2 on and 2 out for Bruce Benedict, who scored. He reached on a bad air, got Johnny Bench. Here's the pitch. Benedict popped up. O'Berry takes off the mask, and that retires the side. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 2.5, Atlanta to the Reds, nothing. It'll be, I was right, Mike O'Berry. It's amazing what sticks with you. Don't ask me what I had for lunch yesterday, but I remembered that O'Berry's first name was Mike. Pastore and Milner due up for Cincinnati. So Barry's off to a good start, 2 doubles and 7 at-bats. And in 82, we were just kind of trying to spell Bench at third, or Bench behind the plate. Boggs' pitch. O'Berry draws a walk. 3-1 was inside, and so Pastore comes up. They play for the bunt, and Frank will do that. He has struck out. Yeah, I know that. He struck out in his only official at-bat of the year. Gets it down. Benedict throws to Hubbard, covering, and the sacrifice works. So O'Berry moves to second. The throw is high, and Hubbard corralled it. So 1 on and 1 out. And Milner, 1 for 1, single and a stolen base, has a runner in scoring position. Boggs threw his first 9 batters. 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout. And 29 pitches, so good work for Tom. Here's the pitch. Milner, fly ball to right. Back goes Murphy. Foul ball. Into the seats as a souvenir. And the count moves to 2-2. Boggs pitch. Milner, inside corner, looked at it 2-2, and it took the umpire a minute before he rang him up. So that's the second strikeout for Boggs. And that brings up Landestoy, who bunted his first time up. Pitch from Boggs. O'Berry goes. Liner right to Hubbard, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3, it's the Braves 2, the Reds nothing. How you doing, Kurt? Oh, so I screwed up. Tribe fan as usual. Kurt, nice to have you. So, but am I right there? Which one year are you doing? 16 or 17, Tribe fan? So Pastore comes out. It'll be Ramirez, Boggs, and Butler here in the 4th for Atlanta. Tomorrow, on our Tuesday, we usually do these Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tomorrow is going to be the White Sox and the Red Sox. Maybe the Red Sox will get their first win of the year. This also will be from Wednesday, April 14th, 1982. And then don't forget Wednesday, our Pro Football Championship. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kick between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. Presented, of course, by HockeyTournaments.com. And then Thursday will be our Saturday game of the week. That sounds confusing. Between the Phillies and the Cardinals. So 2 National League battles for you this week. And a championship. All on Retro Sports Network. Rafael Ramirez singled his first time up. Pastore's delivery is a little looper to Oster, a short, who makes a catch. 1 out. For Boggs, who has an RBI. Reached on a fielder's choice because Clunkhead, the manager, hit the wrong button. Pitch from Pastore. Here's a ground ball to Landastore. Throws over to Dreesen. And there's 2 out. Brings up Brett Butler, who is walked and flew out to right. Pastore delivers, and there's a sharp grounder to Dreesen, who takes it to the bag himself, and that retires the side. Well, that'll make things easier. Pastore's through 4 on 52 pitches. No runs, no hits, no errors after 3.5. It is still 2-0 Atlanta. Tribe fans doing I'm doing 2016. Only start since I have a 67, 71, and 16. Want to get 2018 when it comes out. That should be a good one. That should be a good one. And Tribe fan does a wonderful job. He also did the Find a Blue replay from 71. And he does that cards and dice. So, no computer for him, I believe. Danny Dreesen is 0 for 1. Boggs starts the 4th inning. Ground ball to Ramirez. Comes in. Quick throw to Chambliss. Not in time. That was a bang-banger. And it took a high chop off the artificial surface. And Ramirez just did what he could with it. So Dreesen's on first, and he's going to try to steal. Bench is at the plate. Johnny's 0 for 1. There goes Dreesen. Benedict's throw. And he's in there. So for Dan, that's a second stolen base, and so Bench has a duck on the pond at second. Johnny grounded out to Bob Horner, his first time up. Pitch from Boggs. Fly ball or pop-up. Shortstop Ramirez is there. That was a rainmaker, 1 out. For Cedeno, Cesar struck out his first time up. 1-2 on the day for Boggs. And if you're wondering about whether Tommy and Wade are related, no. At least just with the name. Pitch from Boggs. Cedeno, ground ball to Hubbard, and Hubbard can't play it. So Cedeno's going to reach on an error. And Hubbard, as I said, you know, on the grass fields, that transitions from grass to dirt. But Hubbard's playing the artificial surface. And in this case, the ball played him. So on error aside, Dreesen goes to third, and Cedeno's on first for Oster. And Oster grounded out to short his first time up. Boggs in trouble. There's a base hit in the left. Linares will field it. Dreesen will score. Cedeno will hold at second. And Linares got a late jump on the ball, and that caused a base hit. So it's 2-1 now, Atlanta. As that RBI from Oster scores Dreesen. And so here's Clint Hurdle. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Hurdle's 0 for 1. Benedict goes out to talk to Boggs. And Tommy throws it. There's a ground ball to Hubbard. To Ramirez for 1. To Chambliss. And they do it. They call it 2. It's the pitcher's best friend, and that's why. A run on 2 hits and an error. After 4, Atlanta 2, Cincinnati 1. And so I didn't give you Pastore's numbers during the game. So through 19 batters, 52 pitches, 4 innings, 4 hits, a run. It was 2 runs, 1 earned. He has walked 1 and not struck out anybody. And he's on pace to give you 7-8 innings. Hubbard sacrificed in the first and grounded out to second in the second. Pastore's pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Milner, 1 out. Brings up Dale Murphy. Murph is 0 for 2. Ground out to short. And a fly out to Milner. 1 out. Pastore delivers. Ground ball to Bench. He's going to have to hurry over to Dreesen. Yes, they got him. On a bang-bang play. Johnny had to go into foul ground after getting the ball. His arm still throws it hard. And Murph is not the most fleet-of-foot runner, and he's out. 2 out and nobody on for Bob Horner. Bob has an RBI single on his dance card today. Now hitting .387 on the year. Pastore's pitch. There's a little looper into right center. That's going to be at least a single. And Cedeno tosses it back in. So Horner's on. Horner's 2 for 3. 2 runs, 5 hits in error for Atlanta, and they stranded 5. The Reds 1 run, 3 hits in an error, and they've stranded 3. 64 degrees this afternoon in Cincinnati? Not really. And so, for those of you looking to find Andy Griffith, All in the Family, Brooke Goldman Pyle, I'm not Skip Carey, but hoping you're enjoying the ball game. Here's Chambliss. Chris is 1 for 2. He's singled. He lined over short and lined 2 short. So he and Ron Oster are pretty comfortable. Pastore's pitch. Fly ball right field. Landistore goes over into foul territory and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 4.5, save room for some peach cobbler. Atlanta 2, Cincinnati 1. And so it'll be O'Berry, Pastore, and Milner for the Reds here in the 5th. O'Berry walked his first time up. Logs his pitch. Ball 4. So O'Berry draws the walk to start the inning. Yep, go ahead. Tell me Pastore's about to hit. Thank you. So they're playing it for the bunt. Horner and Chambliss are well on the turf. Pastore gets the bunt down. Benedict's only play is to Hubbard covering first. And again, score at 1-4 and put O'Berry on second. So the tying run is on in scoring position from Milner, who was 1 for 2. He struck out, singled, and stole a base. And so Boggs threw 18 batters, 4 1/3 innings, 57 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs. The run is unearned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Milner. Got him. He swung and missed on a 1-2 curve, and that's a big out. That's 3 for Tommy. And 2 outs for Landistore is 0 for 1. Stack bunt in the first, and a liner to Hubbard in the 3rd. Logs his pitch. O'Berry goes. Ground ball to Hubbard over to Chambliss. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, Atlanta 2, Cincinnati 1. Thanks for the kind words. That's why we do these at lunch, and thanks for being with us, Tribe. And yeah, Mark, this has been a close game. Better than the doubleheader we had Friday. White Sox outscored the Yankees 15-4 over that doubleheader. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have a special for you. Something about Reggie Jackson returning to New York. I think we should do that again. So here's Rufino Linares, who is 1 for 2. He's doubled in the 3rd. He grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd. Pastore's pitch. Linares. Ground ball to Oster. Over to Dreesen for the out. 1 out. For Benedict, who's a good catcher. 0 for 2. Reached on the Johnny Bench error and scored. Pastore delivers, and there's a pop-up right side. Dreesen and Milner. Dreesen calls for it, and that's 2 out. So Pastore, as far as pitch count goes, is cruising right along. He's only down 2-1. Rafael Ramirez is up. Rafael's got a single. And a liner to his counterpart at short. Pastore delivers, and there's a ground ball to Landistore over to Dreesen, and that retires the side. After 5.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's Atlanta 2, the Reds 1. This is MLB 82 Lunch Replay on Retro Sports Network. Well, I'm glad you do, Dave. I really enjoyed doing them at lunch. We'll do some primetime games for baseball, but it's primarily going to be a lunchtime thing. So it'll be Danny Dreesen, Johnny Bench, and Cesar Cedeno due up for the Reds here. Well, they will bat because I'm not changing them. If you're new to the baseball replay or my baseball replays, I do the home team managing, and the computer runs the visitor, except for when the Red Sox are involved. I manage the Sox. So Danny is 1 for 2. He has stolen a base. He only had 11 on the real year, but he has 2 on the replay. Scored a run. Scored his first run of the year as a single. and the ground out to Boggs. Tommy delivers, and there's a chopper down to first. Chambliss flips it over to Boggs for the out. The reason why I pause on those is that it won't automatically tell you quickly whether the runner's out or safe. Excuse me. And so we don't want to do that. Johnny Bench is 0 for 2. Grounded to third and popped to short. One out here in the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Atlanta. Boggs delivers. There's a ground ball up the middle. Ramirez cuts it off over to Chambliss on a bang-bang throw, and they got him. A high AstroTurf bounder that Ramirez played like he was trying to do a backhand in tennis. Man, that had some spin on it. Throws it over to Chambliss to retired Bench, and there's 2 out. Brings up Cedeno, who's 0 for 2. Grounded to second and struck out. Not necessarily in that order. Pitch from Boggs. There's a base hit up the middle. Hubbard dove and couldn't get it, so a liner over second. And the Reds have a 2-out single here in the 6th. That's their 4th hit. Boggs has pitched a good ballgame. So Ron Oster, 1 for 2. Single, RBI. Cedeno on first. He's not in threat to steal, but his 7th running rating is pretty good. Pitch up the middle. Hubbard over to Chambliss, and that should and will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. The Reds strand 1. After 6 on this April 14th, it's Atlanta 2, Cincinnati 1. How you doing, Al? Happy Monday to you. Hope your Monday is good, and you can always watch later. And Kurt, yeah, I'm sure we'll have especially when the Dodgers and Giants are playing the Braves, either on a Wednesday or a Saturday, we'll have some of those. I mean, there are 4 tremendous division races. And so the Braves will play a major part in the National League West. Here's Tommy Boggs. Tommy's 0 for 2 with a run scored. Nope, they're going to pinch hit for him. So it's going to be Larry Wintonson. Boggs at 82 pitches. They're not going to take any chances. The pen is decent. And so here's Larry Wintonson. 2 for 3 on the year. Not bad with a run scored and 2 walks. In real life, 238, 4 homers, and 17 RBI. Pastore pitches to the left-hander. Fly ball to center. Cedeno. 1 out. Brings up Butler. So Pastore threw 27 batters, 6 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He's walked 1 and struck out none. This is the ultimate pitch-to-contact game that's missing today. Butler is 0 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. And Dreesen and Bench creep in for a possible 1-out bunt. Pitch from Pastore. Right back to Frank. Over to Dreesen. 2 out. So here's Hubbard. Glenn is 0 for 2 with the sacrifice bunt thrown in there for good measure. Pitch. Got him. 0-2 on the outside corner. So time to stretch it here in Cincinnati. Get your skyline chili after 6.5. Atlanta 2. Cincinnati nothing, and this brings in Steve Bedrosian, who's had in the replay a tough start. In his last appearance, which was last night, in fact, he's pitched twice in this series and has given up 4 earned runs. He's had a horrible year. He's given up 10 earned runs in the 6 2/3 innings. So last night, 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. He's 0-2 on the year with a 13.50 ERA. So Skip Carey pulls out a fresh pack of cigarettes in the radio booth and starts to work on them. Clint Hurdle is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play and grounded out to first. Bedrosian on the real year, 8-6 with 11 saves, a 2.42 ERA. 137 2/3 innings, 102 hits allowed, including 7 homers. He walked 57 and struck out 123. It will get better. And Bedrosian's first pitch offering is a fly ball to left. Linares comes in for the first out. So O'Berry, who has walked twice, now digs in against Bedrosian. Pitch from Bedrock, struck him out. Full count and got a breaking ball in there for strike three looking. O'Berry wanted a fastball and just kind of checked the swing, and they said he went too far. Pastore's going to bat. There's no reason for him not to. He has not had an official at bat today. Bedrosian walked him. And so Pastore still won't have an official at bat. 3-1 was high and way outside. Brings up Milner 1 for 3. He has struck out twice and singled and stole a base. So the tying run is on as the pitcher. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Bedrosian's pitch. Got him! It caught the inside edge, and Milner tosses the bat away on a full count. He takes the golden sombrero. 3 strikeouts, no runs, and no hits, no errors. The walk does not hurt. After 7, Braves 2, Reds 1. And so Pastore gets the fatigue warning, but he should go about 110, and he's thrown less than 90. So there's a chance he can go the distance. But he's got some tough customers here in the 8th for Atlanta. Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and Chris Chambliss. Murph is 0 for 3. Pastore delivers, and there's a base hit up the middle. So Murphy will hold at first. And here's Bob Horner. Bob has singled twice. It's 11 RBI the first week of the year. Pastore delivers, and that's a liner right to Hurdle and left. And so Russ Nixon goes out to talk to him. Fastball starting to lose some speed. Pastore says, I'm good. He has, well, they used everybody last night. If you take a look, Joe Price, Bob Shirley, who's tired. Jim Kern threw 46 pitches out of the pen. Tom Hume only threw 14. So I would imagine that the Reds would bite the bullet and go to Hume. Or you could use Charlie Liebrant, but Liebrant started 2 games ago. And does not have a good ERA. So they're going to see what they can do to milk out of Pastore. Chambliss has a single. A line out to short and a pop-up. O'Berry goes out to check some signals, and Pastore delivers. And it goes outside, and Chambliss will take ball 4, 3-0. And now they're loaded with nobody out. Nowhere to put Linares, who's 1 for 3 with a double. Ugh, I hate that. And so Hume is warming in a hurry. The Reds will play halfway. Pastore's pitch. Got him, and that is huge. A 2-2 pitch on the inside corner. And so Pastore bore down and got his second strikeout of the game. 1 out, but now the Reds can get out of this with a double play. Benedict 0 for 3. Reached on an error and scored in the 2nd. Popped out to the catcher in the 3rd. And to first in the 6th. Pastore delivers, and there's a ground ball to Landestoy. A try for 2. Oster for 1. Over to Dreesen. And they got it. Call it 2. And Pastore works out of a bases loaded jam and nobody out. Let's watch it again. Landestoy to Oster for 1, and Oster was a strong relay to get Benedict, and the Reds get out of it. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bedrosian still pitching for Atlanta. He can go up to 75. 2-1 Braves. Wow. So it'll be Landestoy, Dreesen, and bench. Raphael is 0 for 2. Bedrosian struck out 2 in the 7th. Pitch Landis-Story right back to Bedrosian. Over to Chambliss, 1 out. So Pastore will come out. Tom Hume, that's big because Hume will come in to pitch the 9th for the Reds. Dreesen 1 for 3. Single and a stolen base. And a run scored. And this time a walk. So 3-0 was almost on the ground. That was so low. He won't try to steal this time. Here's Johnny Bench, who's 0 for 3. Grounded to third, popped to short, grounded to short. Bedrosian delivers, and there's a chopper up the middle. Hubbard's only play is to first, and Chambliss will retire him. So the tying run goes to second, 2 out for Cedeno, who has a single and a strikeout. 1 for 3. Toss in a ground off to second. He reached on an error, so 2 runs, 7 hits, an error for Atlanta. They've stranded 8. The Reds, 1 run on 4 hits and an error, and they've stranded 6 so far. Ramirez pitcher spot and Butler due up for the Braves in the 9th. Bedrosian's pitch, and Cedeno walks. And so runners on first and second, 2 out for Oster. Ron is 1 for 3, has a single and an RBI. Toss in 2 grounders to the mix. Bedrosian and Benedict try to get on the same page. He rocks and deals. There's a base hit up the middle. Butler will field it. Dreesen scores to tie it. Cedeno's on third. 2-2. And so Bedrosian again has struggled. His ERA in the replay is now 11.88. That sounds like something you would buy for an LP in an old commercial. So he is blown to save. He's already 0-2. And here's Hurdle, who I don't really want to hit. Who are my choices? Righty, who's going to hit well against a... Well, Larry Bittner. B-I-I-T-T-N-E-R. 2 for 9 on the year with a solo home run and 2 runs scored. So 2 out, runners on first and third, and Bedrosian not feeling it here in Cincinnati. Here's the pitch, Bittner. Here's a liner in the right. Cedeno will score. Oster goes to third, and the Reds have pulled ahead 2-1. And so Skip Carey's furrowed look, and Ernie Johnson just kind of shaking his head in the Braves booth. And you know why. Bedrosian, he may end up being okay once the season gets really rolling, but right now, he is not. Here's Michael Berry. He has walked twice and struck out. The bat hasn't come off the shoulders. 3-2 Reds here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch. Here's a ground ball to Hubbard, to Ramirez to retire the runner at second. And so the Reds have changed this game around. It's a big inning. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. After 8, the Reds 3, the Braves 2. And so Tom Hume will come out for his 3rd straight day. Bittner will stay in left, and Milner will come into play left. Now Bittner. And there are no better options than bench at third. Do I want to move the bat? Yeah, I'll hold it. And I should have double switched. Because Hume would, if this goes to the bottom of the 9th, Hume would lead off. It'll be Ramirez, a pinch hitter, and Butler, and Raphael is 1 for 3. Hume has 2 saves on the year, 7 innings, 6 hits. He just walked 3 and struck out 1. He has gone in both games of this Braves series. Last night in inning, he gave up 2 hits. And Monday, he got the save in 2 innings and walked 1 and gave up a hit. So here's Hume. Ramirez, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Raphael stings this one all the way to the wall in right center field. And the Braves start off the inning by putting the tying run in scoring position. And so who's going to pinch hit for Bedrosian? Biff Pocoroba. One of the many Brave stars from Al's 1978 Braves one-and-done tournament win. So Pocoroba is 1 for 3 on the year with a double. And you're going to pitch to him. They're going to see what they can do. Ramirez leans off a second. Hume delivers, and there's a ground ball to Landistoi. Over to Dreesen. 1 out. And the tying run goes to third. And they're going to, let's see, they're not going to pitch to Brett Butler. And so what they've set up is a double play to end the game. So here's Hubbard, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 3-2 Reds, 1 out, top the 9th. They took the lead with 2 in the 8th, and then Hume gave up a leadoff double to Ramirez. Here's the pitch, Hubbard. Ground ball, base hit left side. Ramirez scores. Butler goes to third, and the save is blown. Atlanta has tied this at 3. And so 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error. And now the Reds will play halfway for Murph. 1 for 4. Hume delivers. Murphy, ground ball to bench to Landistoi for 1. And they can't get, there's no throw. Landistoi had to throw, and he doesn't. And the run scores. 4-3 Atlanta. Murphy hit a ground ball between third and short. Bench fielded it well. And they trusted we're watching again, they trusted Landistoi to make the play. Hubbard didn't come in all that fast, and Landistoi ate the ball. And so with 2 out, the Braves go up 4-3. How do you start 13-0? You pull wins like that out of nowhere. So here's Horner, 3 for 4 on the day, now hitting .424 on the year, 3 singles and an RBI. Hume is going to get tagged possibly with a loss. Here's the pitch, Horner. Fly ball to left. Back goes Bittner. And that retires the side. The Mad Hungarian comes in for Atlanta. In Herboski. Al pitched an inning last night. He walked 2 and struck out 1. And got the save. And that wild one here at Riverfront. So who do I have that can hit a lefty? So Paul Householder will come in. 375, a homer, and 5 RBIs. 4-3 Atlanta. Cincinnati scored 2 in the 8th to pull ahead, and then Atlanta snatched it right back. Pitch to Householder. Ground ball to Horner. Over to Chambliss. 1 out. Here's Milner. Eddie's 1 for 4. Has struck out 3 times and singled. Here's the pitch. There's a long shot into right center field. Milner's got good legs. Butler's the one that got a late start on it. And the tying run is on second with 1 out. For Raphael Landistoi, he's 0 for 3. Here's Herboski's pitch. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Ramirez looks Milner back, throws to Chambliss. Milner will take third. And so there's 2 out. The tying run is on third for Dan Dreesen. 1 for 3. Dreesen with a home run could win the game. So everyone's nervous. Herboski gets the sign. He delivers. Dreesen pops this one up. Left side. Ramirez. Braves win 4-3. It doesn't get much tighter than that. And Atlanta moves to 4-4. Cincinnati falls to 4-4. So you will get a full episode of Gomer Pyle in a minute. No, not really. But let's go through the game recap. Bob Horner with an RBI single in the first made it 1-0 Atlanta. Then Tommy Boggs hit into a fielder's choice to make it 2-0 Atlanta in the second. Then back come the Reds. Ron Oster with an RBI single. Scoring Danny Dreesen made it 2-1. Atlanta loaded the bases in the eighth and could not score, but the Reds sent 7 to the plate. Ron Oster singled to score Dan Dreesen, and then Larry Bentner's pinch hit single to score Cesar Cedeno to make it 3-2. Then back came the Braves with Tom Hume on the mound. Glenn Hubbard's single scored Rafael Ramirez to tie it, and then Dale Murphy's fielder's choice gave Atlanta the 4-3 win. So, you wonder why wins are a useless stat in baseball? Steve Bedrosian gets the win. He pitched 2 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs, 2 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 2. But he's 1-2 on the year. Al Hrabosky takes the loss, or gets the save. Tom Hume takes the loss, an inning and 2 runs, 2 hits, and a walk. Tommy Boggs went 6 innings. He deserved to pitch well. 4 hits, a run. It was not earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Bedrosian just struggled. His second blown save of the year. We've only played 8 games. 2 innings, 2 hits. You saw all that. And poor Frank Pastore. 8 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned. He threw 110 pitches. And then Tom Hume let it go away from him. And so Bob Horner now 3 for 5 is hitting .412 on the year. Took us 3 hours and 6 minutes to play this. And Tommy Boggs is our Miller Lite MVP. And Dale Murphy gets the game-winning RBI. No home runs in the ball game, a couple stolen bases, and a very entertaining game. And so that's it. Atlanta goes to 4-4. They beat the Reds 4-3. Tomorrow at lunch, the White Sox and the Red Sox from Fenway. Wednesday, the Professional Football Championship of 1978 between the Dallas Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers. And then Thursday will be the Phillies and the Cardinals from the Saturday of this week. So that's what we got coming up for you on Retro Sports Network. I'm Ron Jeckett. We'll talk to you the next time. Thanks a bunch.